I love watching your grappling and the way you grapple in tournaments. Can you tell me from a professional fighter's perspective? I understand there's gloves and I understand there's sweat. Why doesn't extremely good grappling always transition into MMA? Is it because punches? I mean, from your point of view, because you see Damian Maia, you see you guys are beasts, but it doesn't work as well once punches are getting thrown. Is it the stress?
No, it's just a different way of grappling when it comes to MMA. You have to adjust, and your style has to work for MMA, and you have to be training MMA when you grapple. Like I think my grappling works very well with MMA. Obviously, I have a lot of finishes, and when it hits the ground, it works out my way, you know. And I think that there's a lot of things in jiu-jitsu that are not going to work in MMA, and you need to also be used to the punches and used to the different type of movements and used to the sweat and the gloves and everything. So it just sometimes it transfers well with guys, sometimes it doesn't. But you're always going to have to train a lot with the strikes and let your game evolve through MMA, not through jiu-jitsu just.
When you start applying that MMA jiu-jitsu, do you just have people put gloves on and you grapple only with gloves and only with light strikes, or how do you adjust it going when you're training for a grappling tournament and when you're training for a fight?
Well, I haven't trained for a grappling tournament in a long time, but I try to keep the gloves on most of the time to get used to it, because it's a little bit different putting in chokes, and they can be in the way sometimes, you know. So every time when we're training jiu-jitsu now, in my mind it's for MMA. So even though we're not striking, I don't go into positions that I know are very dangerous for MMA, and just low percentage positions, you know. So it's more in your mind. If you keep it in your mind, and I think I've always had that in my mind, because MMA was always my number one. And I think that's the reason why my grappling is pretty effective in MMA. You know?
Is it difficult to train elsewhere? Because when you're home, you know what places you want to go eat, you know where you're going to go sleep, you know where. Is it hard to step away and leave all of that behind, come here, find places to eat, find places to sleep, when you travel around to fight?
It takes a little bit of time to get your routine going, but that's why I came here a month ago, so I know where everything is, and we have a very good routine, and you know it feels like home almost, you know.
Does your diet have to change much, or does it just stay straight through?
I don't cut much weight, so I don't have to worry about my diet too much. You know, we eat clean, and the week before the fight, I have to diet down a little bit, but that's it. You know, it's about 3-4 kilos for me.
And in terms of hierarchies, you've headlined a card, you've been undercard, is it when you're watching other fighters and you've already headlined a card to not be the headliner from then on? Does that play a factor, or is it like, I'm going to fight harder, I'm going to headline the next one? Or do you just not care, you're just happy to be fighting and happy to be working?
Yeah, you know, I'm happy to be fighting, you know. I'm happy to get a good opponent, and I'm going to climb back up, you know.
Mm-hmm. And when you are training with teammates, do you like having them fight on the same card, or do you not? Is it a distraction, or is it a motivator that you're both fighting at the same time?
I like it, because everybody's motivated, everybody's there for the same reason, for the same thing. It just kind of puts a good vibe, you know. And we have a lot of guys as well that are not fighting, so you need them as well. So it seems to work out perfect.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you.